Hey guys, welcome back to BAMA Network. I'm Caitlin Heffler.
And I'm Jade Saylor.
It's been quite a while since we've been here. It's been like a month, but we're back now. We've just been caught up in school and sick.
I just got out of the hospital, so we're doing good.
But we're back. So basically this video is going to be a recap of the past few games, and then also we're going to highlight the LSU game coming up this weekend, as well as the basketball game last night. So, yeah, stay tuned. We're going to start with the Ole Miss breakdown. So, going all the way back to the Ole Miss versus Bama game, it was a big game for Tua and Devontae Smith. Smith finished with 11 catches for 274 yards and 5 touchdowns, which he broke a record that game.
Yeah.
The 5 touchdowns are the most in a single game in Alabama history and are tied for the most in a single game in SEC history, which is pretty incredible. Pretty great for us. Smith had already broken the school record for receiving touchdowns in a single game by the end of the first half, and became the first player in SEC history to have 4 touchdown catches, in the first half of a conference game. Tua, who also ran for a touchdown, also set a program record for total touchdowns in a game with 7. Although the game seems like quite a long time ago, it was a big game for us, especially with breaking records, and definitely one to remember and kind of bring up our confidence this year as a team. Alright, and moving on to the Texas A&M game. That was the first time that Tua did not throw at least 300 yards. He fell just short. Kind of surprised about that one. Yeah, and then other than that, our defense, of course, did not do that well. We were not able to shut them down like we had hoped. But
the final score ended up being 47-28, so they definitely scored a lot more than we would have hoped. Tua, who went 21 for 34 passes, completed 293 yards with 4 touchdowns, and also threw his first interception of the season in that game. Najee Harris had 20 carries for 114 yards, so we were starting to get a little bit more consistent with the run game, at least during this game.
Okay, and moving on to the Tennessee game, Tua left that game with a lower leg injury in the first half. That was quite upsetting.
I cried.
And so after that, our backup quarterback, Mac Jones, of course, went in, and Alabama was still able to win that game. Diggs scooped up a fumble and returned it for a 100-yard touchdown. So that was pretty amazing.
That was impressive. And we needed that. We needed that confidence, because I feel like after Tua went down, the game changed completely. The players changed completely. Mac just looked really uncertain and not confident. He was just throwing balls into the ground and, missing the receivers, and we definitely saw that change after that game, but it's just like a really rocky game for us.
I mean, I think all in all it happened for a reason, though. I think that Tua getting hurt, of course, is not a good thing, but also has given Mac Jones a chance to step up and also to practice a lot more and prepare in case we do need him as a backup for this weekend's
game.
He got
that whole week of first-team reps for Arkansas, so that definitely helps a lot, just in case Tua isn't able to play or goes down in the LSU game.
Okay, so moving on to the Arkansas game.
The last game that we haven't covered was Arkansas. So in that game, I think our defense stepped up when they needed to. They played a whole lot better. We saw Christian Harris got to scoop up the fumbled snap and run it back to get us back into tied territory. Terrell Lewis and Anthony Jennings are doing a great job getting pressure on the quarterback, especially when working together. And because of the pressure that Terrell Lewis was getting on Arkansas's quarterback, Trayvon Diggs was able to get that interception, run it back for a touchdown, so that was 2 really great plays, back-to-back games for him. Mac Jones had a much better game. He had 235 yards, 3 touchdowns, and completed 81% of his passes. He had a lot more confidence. One of my favorite plays in this game, we'll show it right here, is when he tried to throw this ball to Jerry Jeudy and overthrew it, but Ruggs came in behind him in the end zone and caught it. And the refs didn't seem to think that it was a touchdown, and the lights were going off and everyone was celebrating, and then I just thought that this shot was so funny of Ruggs throwing the football back to the ref. And I think everyone's favorite play of the game was when Mac threw the 40-yard touchdown to Jerry Jeudy. It was just a beautiful pass.
A force, so the right ankle is a good thing for his recovery.
Jones taking a shot here for Jeudy. The pass is on the money. It's a touchdown.
Then he went out of the game up 48-0, and the crowd went crazy to see two of his younger brothers, Talia Tagovailoa, come in and get to do some on-field work too in the game.
I think that after the Arkansas game, that gave us confidence that Mac Jones does have what it takes to step in for Tua's position, and I think that just gives us a lot of hope for the rest of the games in case he does need to come in. He definitely proved himself in this game, so we'll have to see if we use him this weekend at all. And now we're going to touch on some of our predictions for this weekend's game and kind of other stats leading up to this game.
Game of the Century Part 2.
Yes. Okay. So I think, in my opinion, that our special teams is going to be really important for this weekend. It's very uncertain also about whether or not Rijkaard will kick or not due to he had a hip flexor injury. Mm-hmm. But Bulvis will be available to kick in case we do need him. His longest field goal was 36 yards. But let's talk about our punter.
Yeah, we have a punter, guys. Tad Perrine came in the Tennessee game, and that was a really loud time in Bryant Denny to see someone punt a football further than 10 yards.
47-yard punt, and he's only punted 4 times, but
he's a walk-on. He needs a scholarship.
Let's give him a scholarship.
Come on, Saban.
And Brandon Cajo has actually blocked 2 punts this season, so LSU better be ready to protect their punter. Also, Bama has had 2 of the best pass rushers, Jennings and Lewis. Mm-hmm. How do you think they're going to do this game, I think?
As long as Lewis stays healthy during this game, because I do believe that LSU will try to play dirty, mm-hmm. I think that they're going to get pressure on Joe Burrow, and he's not had pressure yet this season, so I think that'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
I think it'll be huge for us if they are able to bring on the heat and really put pressure on him. I think that LSU's main objective on offense is their passing, but they can run the ball pretty well too. So
I think another dark horse in the pass rushing is true freshman Christian Barrymore, who just has recently started to get some playing time. Him and Raekwon Davis team up, Lewis and Anthony Jennings team up, and we could definitely cause some chaos for the LSU offense.
Joe Burrow lines up under center, and he has thrown 2,805 yards this season with 30 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and has a quarterback rating of 91.5. He is very accurate, he does not make many bad decisions, and his receivers are some of the most talented in all of college football.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry days at LSU. It's kind of scary.
I think that Bama's offense and LSU's defense are a pretty good matchup, and it should be a great game. I think that basically it's going to come down to who can run the ball, and it's going to be our corners versus their receivers. Also, we have to worry about Tua. If he does come in, what happens if he does get taken down? Will Mac Jones be able to step in and take over? I think that we'll be able to still win and do fine, do okay. That's what I'm hoping for, of course. And I'm pretty confident that Tua will be fine and will come back in. Worst case, Mac Jones can definitely get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's proved that in the last game. So I think if you would have told anyone back in 2011 that Alabama and LSU game was going to be a shootout with 2 quarterbacks as front runners for Heisman, they would have looked at you like you were a crazy person. This game used to always be defense against defense, and now, we're both struggling a little bit defensively, and we both have stellar offenses. But Michael Divinity, LSU's star linebacker, is now no longer on the team. There's rumors flying around why not, and no one really knows the exact answer, except I'm sure LSU knows the answer. But so without him, they're going to be struggling a lot in that position. There was rumors going around from practice today. The media reported that nose tackle, and I'm not really sure how to say his name, Apu Ika, is taking reps with the outside linebackers, so that could be a good thing for them. But I truly think we have the better secondary in defense, and they're just going to have to really lock up their receivers, because they do have good receivers, like you said. But it's going to be hard to lock down all 4 of our receivers versus us locking down 2 receivers.
Okay, enough of game talk and statistics, but let's get down to the fun part. We have a huge audience coming, not only only do we have 30 of 100 of the best recruits, such as Bryce Young, but also President Trump and, of course, apparently Kanye West is coming.
And apparently Justin Timberlake, and apparently Sean Kingston, and
Apparently Lil Wayne.
P. Glock. I mean, like, you know, everybody's coming.
The list goes on, so I'm excited to see who actually does come.
President Trump is confirmed. He will be here.
He is confirmed. There is Secret Service that is already here, and we are supposed to get to the game at least 2 hours early.
Yeah, so if you're coming, I hope you're already here when you're watching
on
this.
your way right now.
Yes, because there's going to be a madhouse in Tuscaloosa.
Along with that, College Game Day will be coming, and they will be coming, I think, starting at 8 a.m. and
On the quad?
Yes.
And then not far away from them will be SEC Nation. They're supposed to be in front of Moore Hall.
And it's also been confirmed that there are already 4 to 5 College Game Day trucks already lined up outside of Lloyd Hall. So, that's pretty exciting. We'll have to go check that out. We haven't seen that for ourselves, but
Yeah, we want to go sit outside the Fine Bomb show Friday night and try to see Laura if she's around.
And onto our rankings. It has now been confirmed that number 1 is Ohio State, 2 is LSU, 3 is Bama, 4 is now Penn State, before Clemson and Georgia. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, so I would probably have it Ohio State number 1 and LSU number 2, but it's hard to justify because, in my opinion, LSU has the more difficult strength of schedule, but according to the statistics, OSU has number 20 and LSU has number 34 on strength of schedule. And then Penn State comes in at 39, Bama at 59, and Clemson at 64. So, in my opinion, I think Bama has to win out to make it to the playoffs. Would you agree with that or no?
Yes, I agree.
I think our strength of schedule is too weak. I think one loss is not enough to get us in the playoffs, and I think we have to win. We have to go to the SEC championship game, and we need to win in order to make it to the playoffs. Well, I think LSU could take the loss to Alabama and still make it in because of their resume and who they've played and who they've beat already. And I think Clemson will win out, and somehow manage to get their way into playoffs. I just don't know how you justify keeping out the reigning national champion when they're undefeated, even if they have a weaker strength of schedule, when Penn State and Clemson is Clemson. I think the playoff committee will take that into consideration. I think Ohio State's a shoo-in. They've put up the numbers, they have the resume, and I don't really see why you would keep them out.
So, this weekend, LSU Bama, who do you have, or do you wish not to say?
You know, I don't want to jinx anything, but I have a gut feeling that Alabama's going to win, and that's not a biased opinion because I had a gut feeling Clemson was going to trash us in the national championship, and they did. So, in my opinion, I have Bama. Who do you have?
I have Bama. I think that's going to be a close game, but I think that we'll win by maybe 6.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be really close. I think that we have to make all of our field goals and extra points.
Yes. Okay, and now Missouri, Georgia. Who do you have?
Georgia.
I have the Dogs. Okay, Tennessee at Kentucky.
Yeah, I have Tennessee. They've actually stepped up a lot in the last couple games, and Kentucky is playing a wide receiver at quarterback.
Okay, this one I don't really have any opinion on, but so we'll have to see. We'll have to see on that one. Okay, Vandy at Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, same. And last but not least, Penn State at Minnesota.
I have Penn State, but I wouldn't hate to see that upset just in case Alabama does lose this weekend. That's just me being biased.
Okay, I gotta say I have Minnesota, but I could see it going either way. I'm not sure about that one either.
I'm not sure, but I feel like with the motivation of being ranked number 4 and being so close to the playoffs that it could either teeter them like off or it could really motivate them to do good.
Yeah.
And what about Georgia being, first 2 out with Clemson? I personally don't think they should get in with a loss to South Carolina. But how do you justify keeping Georgia out of the playoffs if they go and they beat LSU or Alabama in the SEC championship game, who's undefeated? Can you?
No. I don't know.
So then, yeah.
So
I don't know.
We'll have to see on that, and
lots of football left to be played, people.
We'd love to hear your guys' predictions on the games too, so definitely comment who you think will win each game. We'd love to hear your guys' opinions. And moving on to basketball, we had our first basketball game last night, and it was a heartbreaking game. We lost by 1, 80-81. Not the way we want to start the season, and especially with, we thought that, I definitely think that we have gotten better, and with Nate Oates coming in, I think that's
this is not the same team. And for those of you who have seen it on Twitter that are just already giving up, throwing in the towel, this is the first game of the season. We had a major key injury for our best defender. Herb Jones went down early in the middle of the first half. You really can't count them out. You can't judge them off of the first game. Penn is a good team. They're a tournament team. I have a lot of faith in this team, and I think they're going to bounce back stronger than before. They're going to work even harder, and we're going to have a good chance at getting in the tournament this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think that also it's the beginning of the season, like Nate Oates said in his post-game interview. He would rather lose at the beginning than later on in the season, because now they know what to work on, and obviously it's clear that they need to work on their shooting game. Literally their shooting game was probably like 11 out of 38, 29% around that, and obviously that's something we need to work on. And just to mention Kyra Lewis's missed free throws, I think that those are mistakes that can't happen, but I think it can be fixed as well too.
Oh yeah,
free throws though cannot be missed in basketball.
We were 35% from the free throw line last night, 28.9% from the 3-point line. We had 15 turnovers. We cannot be turning over the ball. We have to work on defense as well. And we had 42 rebounds, so that was good. But Kyra Lewis himself, he had 30 points. He kept us in this game, and you can't blame the loss on his missed free throws, which I saw so many people doing. While he does have to make the free throws, everyone has to make their free throws. We didn't lose the game because Kyra missed at the end of the game. We lost because of what happened during the whole game. And like I said, that key injury really hurt us with defense.
I think that all in all, this game was very beneficial for us. I think that now they'll be able to break down what they need to work on, and also probably got out the nerves with a new coach and like a new season, new players. So I think that they'll definitely be able to bring it together and prepare for the rest of the games this season.
And also transfer Devon Quinterly that came from Villanova. You probably know his waiver was denied, and they appealed it, and they will be doing an interview with the people that pick if they get a waiver or not, the NCAA, on Monday. So we should know before the game against Florida Atlantic if he'll be cleared for the season or not. Hopefully he'll get that waiver and get to play on Monday. Besides that, the student section last night was great. The energy was so electric and loud, and I think that really motivated the players. But as far as everyone else, it was a little empty. So, you should get out and support this basketball team. They really need you, and they're trying to rebuild a really good program.
Also, there's 100 days left before BAMA baseball and softball, two other sports that we will be adding to BAMA Network. So, like we mentioned in probably the first episode, we will be doing basketball and, of course, baseball and a little bit of everything.
Alright, well, that's all we have for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below anything you want to see from us or any questions you have. Comment if you're going to the game this weekend or not. We're going to be trying to film some stuff like at the game from College Game Day, from the tailgate, from the game itself, and
interviews.
Trying to get some interviews. It's going to be extremely loud, and we're just going to do our best, but we'll include that in the next episode when we recap the LSU game and the Florida Atlantic game from Monday.